My gosh, I've been here. I was resting right here. I fell asleep right here in that chair. Right there would be where my grandfather would be right there. My mom would be there right there, my dad. Jerry right there, he was involved in it. They've been using me, of course, in that bowling alley over there. They want to hide it behind a heart. You see, they want to hide it behind a heart. Somebody they love like me, right? Everybody loves a guy like me. So these guys, they hid what they'd done behind me, and if anybody told them what I done or they done, and someday they would come back and for an insurance policy, they would blame me and frame me if they had to, and they was going to do that. I sense with Rick Rife, but I beat that one. You know, I just really beat that one, and I got the evidence in this Bruce Kimsey. He killed it, Bruce Frederick Kimsey, you know. Um, then we got Don Fredrickson. Then we got Bruce Frederick. You see, they were looking for somebody with that F in it. Like John F. Kennedy, possibly, Frederick. I'm not quite sure there yet. But I find that interesting, though. But, oh, you know what I did? Was I just brought this tomato juice down here because I know it's the Republican Party. And I had, when I carried it down here, what else did I carry down here? I carried a bag of berries because I was pulling a bag of frozen berries out. I was going to put some wheat toast, you just toast it on one side, put peanut butter across it, put berries on it. That's what I eat for food a lot of times, something like that. I mean, like snack. I like eating food, meat, and vegetables, spinach. So anyway, there's my dad, there's his dad, there's Jerry, and there's me. There's no picture of Jim. I kind of wonder if, I actually do kind of wonder if maybe Jim isn't really my brother because he kind of looks just a little bit off. But then again, I love that guy. I mean, I would never turn away Jim, nor even Matt Wright. If Matt Wright isn't my son, I mean, I'd still say he was my son. I'd still say Jim Wright was my brother. But Jim Wright sure in the fuck never treated me like that goddamn son of a bitch. And that son of a bitch and his mother and him, they fucking got it on. And they fucking George all the way. And the thing about George is, I'll tell you this. Look, I put a noose around his neck, didn't I? Around my whole own dad's neck. So don't think I would be goddamn lenient on anybody else. I mean, after this. Now, this woman right here, Marietta L., right? She's from Wolf Point, Montana. Her dad was possibly a guy named John Bonney says it's not. That's when I thought, well, why did Grandma respond to that? I'm not quite sure. But he was supposed to be the strong man of the Barnum and Bailey circus, John was. And my grandma told me that he was a very big man, much bigger than me. And I think his name was John, and they all hid behind him. And I think his name really was John. Bonnie said no, though. But Bonnie said no because I was named after John F. Kennedy. And I was wrong about, but that was just subsequential. My grandmother's Isabel L. Nelson. Okay, then you got Henry L. Nelson that she married, and that piece of property, 15619 Northeast 3rd Avenue in Brush Prairie, Washington, it sets just diagonally away from, or just You know, I mean, the planes go like this, and they go like this, so they come at the fucking property, and they turn right there, and they fucking just jump right there, and they head over that way. So George right there was at home. I mean, it doesn't take no fucking. They could have had a bonfire on that 40 piece of property. My grandpa has flares. He has road flares. And I tell you, when I was down there cleaning up that farm, I found a barrel like this, round, you know, like this. And I took it. I was burning everything on the property. You know, if there's reports down there, the fucking fire that I made down there, I made a fire that was as big as the law would fucking allow. And I went to town on that place because it was a total mess. And the reason it was a total mess is because my aunt is a hoarder. And to this day, she lives, you know, I mean, she lives in Woodland, Washington. And she had to take stuff with her. And her whole back deck is filled with boxes. I don't know if my aunt's still alive. I haven't been able to see her or anything. She told me, she goes, promise me you never go back to these people, my own family. She goes, because if you go back to your own family, I'm going to be made out to be the bad guy. Why? Because she did my dad's hair and stuff and got him ready, and they had their clothes up there and that. They actually did do stuff together, and Jeannie got possibly a trailer out of it because she got a new trailer put in there during that time. I remember they had a brand new fucking trailer put there, and the trailer that was there ended up out at Pat and Ted's place, Ted Shaw. Okay, so come to find out, my Aunt Jeannie got around, and she said that, well, my little sister always got my leftovers. You know, I mean, she said, how do you think she met Ted? Oh, well, that I found that interesting because I didn't know that. And when my grandmother died, I went out and I seen Ted, and Ted said, did he leave anything for Stacy? And that was his daughter. And I said, no. I said, she ended up leaving, you know, her cash to Jeannie, the bulk of it, and they'll just divide the property amongst the three of them, three girls. And I said, that's it. You know, that's the way it, my grandma left it. You know, so Ted, he didn't know. Then I found out that Stacy, she doesn't, she's not even Ted's child. And he found out or something that she wasn't his child. He sure did raise him as his child. But he told me, he says, when it's all over, he says, this just goes back to the state. He says, same thing with his business down there, Hagen Shaw and everything. And he had that big contract on that mill and everything. And I think he got a great deal. I don't know exactly how he worked it, but I think the whole property just goes back. And geez, that sounds kind of like these bowling alleys and everything. I mean, kind of weird business, but I could see where, you know, he's right there in that city, and the city just took over that business. Well, geez, are they sending their people around to people's houses to spy on them? You know, I wonder what's really going on, because if people are nothing but more than spies, you know, hey, somebody comes in, hey man, any shady people down there, you know who to do? Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, boss. Yeah. Yes, head. You know, hey, you better come down here. There's fucking trouble. Oh no. Oh, that was a mistake. Guy got fucking busted anyway. Hey, it's okay, man. Thanks. He looked like he would be a great criminal. It worked out. You know, I mean, you go into some place and Jesus Christ, you could have the fucking, this, God, it's that guy's son. Jesus Christ, the fucking people are here. You know, here I'm making, you know, notes. Here I got Donald M. Burgess. Well, check this out. Bruce Frederick Kimsey. I have Don Fredrickson up there in Port Angeles. I just thought that was a unique factor in this. I had the thing that, like Don Burgess, Burgess, you guess, you know, you guess, boy, I tell you. Or how about this? Black Zach is actually Black Jack. You know, I mean, and I'll tell you what, Trisha and John, and Trisha, this would be my sister Patty Louise Wright's daughter, told me, and the Trisha would hide behind John, and Trisha told me one day downstairs when she was moving out of my mother's house, because they came down, they rented that room downstairs, or they were staying down there, whatever the arrangement was, didn't have nothing to do with me. And she told me one day, she goes, you know, John, you're the only one that's never passed judgment on me. And, you know, to be honest with you, she's heavy set. You know, I don't want to fucking goddamn, you know, she's put on some weight. What's happened to her? Has she been offended or something? I've never, I mean, I see that when people are offended, they what? Maybe they pack on some pounds, they're not feeling good, etc. You know, I mean, there's just a lot to it. And then Trisha ended up missing in Lewis County. I don't know if she ever was found. They tell me that she came back and then she went back to wherever she went. I mean, I looked in Lewis County and I never seen a report that she was ever found. But I seen the one that said that she was missing from someplace in Centralia, and I found that to be a direct threat to me, that my own niece would be missing, Patty's daughter. Then Patty had something done to her, and that was after Jim had something done to him. So it hit Jim, and then it hit Trisha, and then Patty's out of commission. I don't know where they are. And I gave Bonnie a dog to take to Patty, a little NorJack, a little cute NorJack. Wherever NorJack is, NorJack's probably out there. It's a dog. It's a stuffed dog, for God's sakes. It's a something to humor myself with, like some, well, we'll think about that too. So anyway, now we have Trisha and John. You know, people will hide behind people named John, is what I'm saying. So, you know, if there's people named John in the fucking government, you might want to look behind them, because, hey man, you can trust honest John like you can honest Donald Trump John. No way. You know, and John F. Kennedy, hey man, I think that he was codependency, that woman. You know what codependency is? Yeah, I think. Maybe click. Bye.